So today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to backcomb. There's 3 different ways of backcombing and I've named them 3 easy names to remember. The first one is explosion. So we'll talk about explosion. Explosion backcombing, you'll see why it looks like, or why it's called explosion backcombing is because it looks very explosive. I use explosion backcombing for padding, to naturally pad someone's hair out without actually using padding itself. Or if someone's hair is really, really thick, I'll use explosion backcombing to hide some parts of it. So step 1 of explosion backcombing. You're going to take a section of hair and you're going to lean it to a 45-degree angle. You're going to take your backcombing brush and you're going to point that downwards in a 45-degree angle, starting from the end of the hair straight down to the root, end down to the root, end down to the root. When I'm using explosion backcomb, I tend to use it to pad out hair. So the best way I find is if you get a hairnet, it needs to be a sturdy enough hairnet. Place a clip onto the end of it and you're going to clip it in, you're going to wrap the hairnet over and you're going to use that as your padding. The second backcombing we're going to talk about is root backcombing. And the reason why I use root backcombing is it makes the root quite sturdy, which will hold like a little bit of volume and will also hold your style in place. But it also leaves the ends quite soft, so you can have a lovely natural soft texture of hair going through. So for your root backcombing, you're going to take a section and you're going to hold it at a 45-degree angle. You're also going to hold your backcombing brush at a 45-degree angle, except this time you're only going to go down 3/4 of the hair, so 3/4 of the mid-band down to the root. From the mid-band down to the root, from the mid-band down to the root. So the end won't have any backcombing in it whatsoever. So the third backcombing that I use is flat backcombing. What flat backcombing does is it makes the hair more pliable. So you can do barrels, you can actually take your flat backcombing in big sections. You can also put flat backcombing into a ponytail, separate it into 4 pieces and do 4 pieces of flat backcombing to make one up style. Flat backcombing, step by step. Step 1, you're going to take a section of hair, which can be a thick section. You're going to hold the section of hair out. You're going to be using a rocking backcombing technique. You're going to start from the root and you're going to push towards the root each time, slightly rocking your backcombing brush, but moving down the hair shaft, step bit by bit. It's really, really important to keep your backcombing flat. The common problem when you're doing flat backcombing is if you don't rock your backcombing brush inwards, you will get too much bubbles in it and it's harder to actually get it smooth. So why I use flat backcombing and what I would use it for. Flat backcombing makes the hair much more pliable, so it makes it more sturdier. So you could actually do an up style using 2 sections of flat backcombing and you can twist them into shape. I also use flat backcombing for barrels, rolls, a number of things. You can check us out on www.k2hair.com or K2 Hair Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram, our Push Makeup page on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.